All right, today we're talking about why dating apps don't work for most men. It's kind of a broken, rigged game that you're trying to play, and there's something else that you should be doing and focusing your time on that's much better. We're going to talk about it in this video. But first, let's start with the harsh stats, the harsh statistics. So essentially 90% of women swipe right on only 10% of guys or less. All right, so women are very picky, especially online when they can only see a visual profile. And so that automatically excludes 90% of guys, right? So you have to basically be in the top 10 to get anything. And it looks like this, right? It looks like a pyramid where 90% of guys get completely ignored, and then 10% of guys, or less, maybe even 5%, get all the attention, okay? So if you're a man and you're swiping, you're likely going to get a sub 5% match rate. So if you swipe right on 100 girls, you're not going to get 100 matches like they would instantly, right? You're not even probably going to get 5. You might get 1. You might probably get 0, okay? Very frustrating, complete waste of time in most cases. It has worked for me, but you know, with this, you're playing a rigged game where the odds are not in your favor. Okay, so women get flooded with options. Men just get ignored, right? A girl can swipe right, and it's a very high, I think it's over 80% chance that they're going to get a match because the guy already swiped right on them. And you might go weeks, months without getting a single match and using up your swipes every day, right? So with all that said, you might even have to pay for a better chance, right? More unlimited swipes, super likes, whatever that other shit is that you pay to see, like the 2 whales in your profile that liked you, and then you're like, oh, they're 300 pounds. I paid $10 for that, really? So the statistics show that you got to spend a lot of time and effort and energy to get not a lot of results, okay? So why is this happening? Why is this so bad? Well, it really comes down to hypergamy, infinite choice, and that essentially creates a brutal market. So hypergamy is the idea that women don't want to settle with one guy. They like to have a lot of options and date a lot of guys at the same time. And that has been exacerbated by feminism, by social media, by, PR and everything, telling women that they deserve the absolute best when maybe in a lot of cases they don't actually, but they believe that. And so now with the infinite choice that they have on dating apps, with Tinder passport mode, I believe it is, where you can open up your dating pool to the entire world or another country, which is insane. It used to be hyper localized, right? Like you just date the girl next door or someone in your town, and now you're competing with everybody in the entire world or in country, right? So with infinite choice and hypergamy, this creates a horrible type of situation where the grass is always greener for women, for men. Like you always are looking for something better. You don't want to settle. You don't want to commit. And that creates just a lot of toxicity, right? And so another not so nice term to use would be hoflation, right? The idea that it costs more money to get with a girl that might be less quality than they used to be before dating apps and the internet and all these things. And so same idea with inflation, where you get the same thing, or even shrinkflation, where you pay more and you get less of like the cereal box that looks bigger and wider, but you turn it sideways and it's like thinner. Women are not really thinner now. It's the opposite, but hoflation is kind of a thing. It's like they get their ego boost hit every day, DMs, matches, whatever, and they think they're all that. So that's another issue. You got the looks, money, and status trio that all women want, right? They want a guy who makes more money than them, is taller than them, is stronger than them, has status, is socially skilled, maybe famous. The list goes on, right? So that's another thing that all women are conditioned to believe they deserve all that. And then with infinite options for women, they won't really, they might even not, a lot of times you'll get ghosted if you try and shoot your shot in the DMs, or you match and you try and say something and you use a chat GPT prompt. You're like, oh yes, this is great. She's not even going to read it, right? It's like you're wasting your time. So on top of all this, you have the basically 100% visual based kind of setup with Tinder and Hinge and all these other dating apps, where you can only see a surface level. You can't get personality. You don't have tonality. You don't know anything about them, stories, anything. It's all just like looking through trading cards and trying to find that shiny holographic one, right? So this creates an infinite loop, right, where no one wants to actually find someone who is their looks match, right? And so the solution with all these terrible statistics, right, with why this is happening would be really to focus on real life, okay? So I've found it way easier once you start to learn how to speak to people and talk to women, that it's way easier to go up to someone in real life than it is to get their attention online, okay? Like, people always read into text messages and if you're sending emojis and all that stuff, but it's a lot easier to just go up, say hi, introduce yourself, because not a lot of guys are doing that, but obviously a lot of guys are too scared to do that. So the solution here is to focus on building your SMV, right, your sexual market value, and that would be through a laundry list of things, right? For women, it's very simple. It's like, be attractive, be young, okay? For men, it's a huge list, right? There's a lot of things that you can do to build yourself up. So it's actually a good thing in a lot of ways because it's more dynamic, but it is work, right? And so with this, for younger women, it's looks. They want a guy who is attractive, right? Looks like Prince Charming or whatever influencer or celebrity or movie star that they like, right? So for this, you should hit the gym, take care of yourself, skincare, actually shower every day, like basic hygiene that should be pretty self-explanatory, but a lot of guys can't even do that, like can't even shave every day and all these things. So looks very important, okay? Gym and fitness, also huge. Like, I've noticed a difference since I've put on 10, 20 pounds of muscle, that I get way more attention from everybody, right? I don't really try or look for it. I just like to work out, and it feels good, and it's a good hobby, and it keeps me productive and moving, but I get way more attention from women now that I actually look like I take care of myself. So that's a huge thing. It's an easy win for guys who have nothing else going on in their life. Like, you can at least go to the gym for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. And it's pretty natural to do that. So another thing would be attractive hobbies. I'm not talking about model trains and anime maybe, but for me this would be I train a lot of martial arts, and I'm a jiu-jitsu brown belt, so I also teach class, and I train judo and wrestling and all these things, and women like that because that's basically signaling that you're strong and can protect them. And well, they're thinking about something else too, right? But having attractive hobbies is always good because it makes you interesting. You have something to talk about, and that raises your SMV, okay? So social skills, this is one that's super overlooked. Like, people think about, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to get a good job, but then how about you actually learn how to speak to women? Like, you kind of need to talk to women before you can get anywhere. So social skills is an interesting one. Here's how I think about it. I go up to people and I think about literally just, when I go to the gym, for example, I try to talk to someone new every time, but I think about it like getting experience points, like it's a video game. Like the more you talk to people, the more XP you get, the higher you level up your social ability. Okay, so I talk to everyone, crusty old dudes, and I talk to hot young women. It doesn't matter to me, and anyone in between, right? It helps to develop your social skills and not be awkward and, you know, stuttering and all this stuff to where, you know, you come across as like, oh, this guy's a little bit weird, like what's going on? So social skills, that's a skill you have to develop, and you can tell yourself, oh no, I'm an introvert, I can't, you know. No, you just need to learn how to talk to people and kind of put yourself out there a little bit. So that's a huge one. Another big one, especially as you age and mature, and especially if you're looking at to date older women, is stability. So money and career. That's huge, right? That's the epitome of resources. Same thing out in nature, where, you know, female lobsters look for the male lobster with the biggest claws and the nicest rock, whatever it may be, with the most resources, right? So to put that analogy towards this would be, how much money do you make? You know, do you own a car or a house, or do you have savings and all these things? Like, this is very attractive. Okay, so if you have resources, you have power, and that's another thing women are attracted to. So if you can do all these things, it's really helpful to meet people in person, because again, a lot of people are not doing that, and you can have different avenues for the gym, social circles, hobbies, right? Maybe not work, because that can be a little bit odd, but that is where you would probably have a better chance than online, where you're dealing with, you know, a lot of difficult obstacles to go overcome just to get a chance with the 300-pound whale. So I hope this video helps. Click the video appearing on your screen, and I'll see you on the inside.